Hi, I'm Hunter Reineck, and this is the Weekly Bugle for the week of November 6th to November 12th, 2023. On the show, we cover local and world news, upcoming events, science, history, health, art, and whatever you need to be in the know of. However, before we get into it, there is still no sponsors for this show, so if you are interested and want to help fund the show, contact me at the email below or in the description. No matter what though, thank you so much for watching and supporting the show with your views or sharing. I really appreciate it. Also, a quick reminder, you can still donate to Extra Life to help sick and injured children. To do that, go to the link below or in the description to donate and learn more. Anyways, on with the show. Jumping into this week in science, a new study shows that similar galaxies to the Milky Way existed 11.7 billion years ago, when the universe was barely 15% of its current age. Using the James Webb Space Telescope, astrophysicist Luca Constantine found the galaxy Sears 2112 that is kind of a twin sister to the galaxy we call home. It's like seeing our galaxy back in time, says Constantine. With the power of the James Webb Telescope, we can see some of the first ever galaxies formed in the universe. Doing this will hopefully let us better understand how our very own was created and potentially be able to look for more like ours that may even contain life. Moving on to health this week, in Mexico, they studied 85 people who use cannabis and 51 who didn't, and found that users tend to be more empathetic in psychological testing. This may prove that cannabis can be used to help people who lack empathy like sociopaths, people with social anxiety, and people with avoidant personality disorder to relate easier to others. However, further studying is needed to prove this effect. In another study, published in Psychological Medicine, looking at 5 decades and 6 million people in Denmark, they found schizophrenia to be linked to cannabis use disorder in young men 21 to 30 years old. They estimated that roughly 30% of schizophrenia diagnoses could have been prevented by avoiding cannabis use disorders. It is important to realize this study looks at cannabis use disorder, not just the use of cannabis. Cannabis use disorder is defined as a problematic pattern of cannabis use leading to clinically significant impairment or distress. Things like medical marijuana have been proven to help people with mental illnesses or other problems like chronic pain. However, just like almost anything in life, regulating your use to a healthy and safe amount is important to keep that thing, well, healthy. Just like how alcohol can become a problem if used wrong or too much, the same can be said for cannabis. With recreational cannabis becoming legal in Ohio soon, to make sure you understand the risk and how to be safe when using it. This week in history, on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, the Great War, a war said to end all wars, ended in 1918. As we all know, that statement was true and all wars ended, forever leading to world peace. No, wait, sorry. This war was renamed to World War I when the Second World War started a few decades later. Anyways, this day, now called Armistice Day, marked the end of the war that lasted roughly 4 years. 9 million soldiers were killed and 21 million were wounded throughout the war, which is almost nothing compared to the estimated almost 75 million that would be killed in World War II. Sadly, the peace treaty that followed World War I, the Treaty of Versailles, is actually what laid the groundwork for the start of the next World War. However, it is important to remember everyone who laid down their lives trying to make the world a safer, more peaceful place. Hopefully though, after these large conflicts, we learned war and the loss of life and destruction that follows is not worth it. Right? Moving on to world news, the conflict in Israel and Gaza still rages on with reportedly 10,000 plus people being killed in the Gaza Strip since October 7th, according to an update provided by the Gaza Health Ministry. However, the violence isn't just happening in Gaza. A Jewish man died after an altercation between pro-Israel and pro-Palestinian groups in California as pressure continues to rise all over the world. As some call for a ceasefire, some unfortunately call for the destruction of either Israel or Palestine as racism and anti-Semitic beliefs also begin to rise due to this conflict. So as the war may be happening thousands of miles away from you, it may still affect you some way at home. As I've been saying, it's important to try to keep a level head during this situation and to not let emotions get the best of us. Make sure that the things you're reading and seeing are true and not misinformation trying to push a certain narrative. That is important with every single topic that you hear about in your life. The truth is, conflicts and wars are never pretty. Innocent civilians losing their lives, families, and homes due to the beliefs or disagreements of others is unfair and unjust. Hopefully though, with the growing pressure around the world for a potential ceasefire, at least a peaceful or better solution to deal with Hamas will be found before more lives are lost. Finally, getting to the local news, in Ohio, issue 1 and 2 passed on November 7th with both getting at least 56% of the voters saying yes. Now, what exactly does that mean and what are those issues? Issue 1, as I covered in a video a couple weeks ago, protects the right to make one's own reproductive decisions, which includes abortion if wanted or needed. Issue 2 allows the use of cannabis for recreational uses if you are 21 years older, which will be legal starting on December 7th. Now, obviously, there is a lot more to these issues than just that, so I encourage you to check out the links in the description below to educate yourself further on both of these issues. However, even with the issue getting a majority of the vote does not mean they are both set in stone. Lawmakers still have the chance to slightly rework both of the issues before they go into effect. Plus, this will probably unfortunately begin a cycle of future issues to repeal or revise them even further down the line. So make sure you're registered to vote and keep voting in the future to protect your rights and what you believe in. Now getting to upcoming events in GIBSONBURG on Saturday, December 9th, they'll be holding an ugly Christmas sweater run and walk starting at 9 a.m. To enter, you must donate an unopened or unused canned good or toy. Plus, they just announced Santa will be joining us at Town Hall after the event from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. So if you're interested, mark your calendar, grab a toy or canned good, find an ugly sweater, and get ready to meet Santa. Finally, leave you guys off with something nice and wholesome. Here's a video submitted by newfolder25 and r/wholesome in Reddit. This video is about how two wholesome salesmen go about respecting someone not wanting to be solicited. Enjoy.
Say something, says please no soliciting. And they say it so nicely.
That is it for the show today. If you happen to have a story, art, or something interesting you think should be on the show, contact me at the email below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay happy and healthy. See you guys in the next Weekly Bugle. Bye.